let's hop into it. HR.
All right, everybody. Another week, another episode of the Sports Clash. NFL Week 6, kind of almost in the books. What a week! I mean, let's go, Chris. How you doing, bud?
I'm good, man. Not as good as you, though. Definitely a good
Your
day.
Manders
Excited
won.
to.
Manders won. Jets won. The pod is winners today. You went 3-0 in your bets. I went 1-2,
Woo!
but I told you when you sent your bets in, I was like, I love these bets. I love them. I wish I could copy them
Bet
verbatim,
envy.
word for word.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
I love them. So
You
it
had
was,
BOMO.
yeah, proud
Yeah,
of you. But
yeah.
yeah, something like that. Something like that.
Yeah, but
Very.
excited to see you, man. Excited to talk some football. It was a good day.
Oh, it's a great day. It's a great day. Oh, the Jets beat the Eagles. My Jets beat the Eagles without Sauce Gardner, without DJ Reed. I mean, they had the two top corners out. I know the Eagles had some injuries. I don't want to fucking hear it. I don't want to hear it. The Jets win.
Get out of here. Nobody wants to hear it.
The Eagles no longer undefeated, 5-1. Your Jets, my Jets, everybody's Jets, 3-3. I mean, I don't know if we want to start here. We have some game. We have our picks to cover, but I am pretty jacked up, and I'm
I could
I'm
tell.
I'm very
I could
happy.
tell. No more undefeateds though. And today was
This
one of those days where, like, if you gamble, there were wins by two, there were safeties, there were even numbers, there were scores that ended in sixes, there were field goals everywhere. It was a it was a numbers day. Like, it was a math day to me. Like, it
no,
felt like we had some wackadoo scores and we
yeah,
have no more undefeateds. It's awesome.
very low scoring games across the
Chaos.
board. You saw that on like fantasy games, very low scoring. Everything was low scoring. But good matchups. I mean, the Dolphins, the Dolphins are the only team that scored. Dolphins and Jaguars, the only teams that scored over 30 points.
Still surviving. Had the Dolphins this week. Let's go.
Very nice. Congrats. I kind of stopped following my own Survivor League since I've been out. Since the damn Cardinals beat the Cowboys. Still pissed about that. Got a little bit of redemption today. My one win was Rams -7, and the Rams took care of the Cardinals 26-9. So
Did
I don't know. Where do you want to start? There's so much. There's just so much to go over. We got our picks.
well.
Both our
It's.
teams won.
Let's just go
Yeah.
over the Jets game because I tuned out the last little bit of it. I was doing some work prep for the day job tomorrow. What the hell happened?
I don't know. I don't know. I literally don't know. I don't know how it happened. I don't know why it happened. But the Jets beat the Eagles 20,
Unreal.
20 to
I'm
14.
jealous.
20 to 14. The Jets could not get in the end zone. It was field goal after field goal. But finally, they got into the end zone after another Jalen Hurts pick. The Jets defense dominated. The defense won them this game, and the offense and Zach Wilson did not lose the game, and that's why you won.
Well said.
That's why you're sitting here happy because Jalen Hurts had 3 picks. Uh, did not have a good game. The Jets. Jalen Hurts is unbelievable. The guy is unreal. He is like a fullback back there.
Clearly,
You can't take him down. Like the Jets could have had 8 sacks in the game. They're lucky they had two, just because he's just unbelievable back there. He turns nothing into something, but he also turned nothing into something for the Jets a couple times with the 3 picks, and he kept the Jets in the game. Props to the Jets defense because they without you didn't have your top corner and one of your best defenders, Sauce Gardner, out there. You didn't have DJ Reed, your number 2 cornerback, and also a very good corner. You had 4 healthy corners, and yet
crazy.
Hurts can only throw for I think he threw for what two he threw for 280, but only one touchdown. AJ Brown was unstoppable. He had 7 catches, 131 yards, but that's AJ Brown.
Mhm.
He's enough. They have
And you
two.
got backup corners out there. I'm just
Yeah,
gonna say it's okay that AJ Brown went off because you're playing with the B team. It sounds like.
yeah, playing with the B and the C team, and they shut down Devonta Smith, and the Eagles had no running game aside from Jalen Hurts. Hurts was the only guy who could run the ball, but
With fumbled.
DeAndre Swift, who had been having a great year, 18 yards on 10 carries. I mean, they up the middle. Quinnen Williams and the Williams brothers on the Jets. Quinnen Williams, the defensive lineman, and Quincy Williams, the linebacker. They start. Uh, Quinnen Williams actually had a pick off of a deflection. Yeah, it was unbelievable. It came down to the defense and the picks, and it was Garrett Wilson left the game twice. He had some kind of like ankle injury. I don't know what was going on. It killed the Jets' momentum on 2 drives, but he still
Mhm.
finished with 90 yards on 8 catches. Brees Hall was the second leading receiver, 5 catches, 54 yards. He had tough sledding on the ground, but he did have the 39 yards, and he had the game-winning touchdown. This was the Eagles were up 14-12. Um, First down basically iced the game, and the Jets picked them off and almost ran it back. Eagles took them down, but then the Eagles let Brees Hall score to make it 2014, get the Eagles the football back with about a minute and a half, a little bit over a minute and a half. But Jets forced a three and out, and the game was over. And it was just an unbelievable defensive effort. Just you're showing signs of a real team here. And Zach didn't win you the game, but he didn't lose you the game. And there's a lot of talent on this team, and I'm excited, and I don't know. I don't know. You now you're 3-3 and you're going into the bye, and that's after a fucking gauntlet. You had a gauntlet to start the year.
Yeah, you need to finish
It was
winning
a
a couple of
tough
those.
one. So you're 3-3 and you've beaten the Bills and you've beaten the Eagles. And those are some wins on the resume.
Yeah, if only it was college football where they rank you based on the teams that you beat. It doesn't matter that way here, but
No.
yeah, dude, incredible effort. Are you not entertained by defense still, Mister Fantasy
I
Defense curmudgeon?
I love
Your
def
team
I
is only defense, so
yeah.
I'll give you the opportunity to change your opinion on defense.
I'm not my opinion was I've never been anti-defense. I've always been pro scoring. Look, when you're a
Well,
cat when you're
my second point is pro scoring. How about that special teams, baby? How about
yeah,
that special teams? Let's
yeah,
go, Jets.
yeah. Four field goals for Greg the Leg today.
Special
He was
teams
cooking it.
beat the Bills. Special teams beat the Eagles. The
Yeah,
Jets are incredible at two phases of football right now, and
and those are very important phases.
as long as the other one doesn't fall out of sync, and like you said, I couldn't have said it better. Zach didn't lose the game, and that's all you need. That's all you need. Like literally, you need Kyle Orton. That's what you need. You need a guy to not make plays.
Yeah,
You need a guy to not turn the ball over. And the
yeah,
Jets, I mean, old stuffy football coaches are like, if you win the turnover battle, you win the game. And the Jets are proof of that right now in modern NFL. So I'm jealous, dude. I want to beat the Eagles like every day of my life. I hate the fucking Eagles. So thanks for doing that. But I wish it was the Commanders the other week, but we got a little worked. But Jets are here to stay, man. This to me though stinks of we're gonna get pick number 16 and Aaron Rodgers is gonna come back and it's gonna be like a
yeah.
random lineman. So like
That's
I
fine.
know it is what it is. It is what this is what the Commanders have been going through, finishing 8 and fucking 8 all the time with Kirk Cousins. Is
Yeah,
you don't get the opportunity to do like what Astros, Orioles teams do to get high picks to like replenish your team and make them good for a longer term. But
I get that,
hey,
but the Jets have
win
had
now.
high picks and
Hmm.
they've hit on a good amount. And I mean, Zach Wilson was a number 2 overall, and he's your quarterback right now. Like, doesn't always hit. Doesn't you can't just you after 6 weeks in the NFL be like, ah, fuck it, let's just tank. When you have superstars like Garrett Wilson, like Quinnen Williams, like Sauce Gardner, like
Well, you
there's
can't
enough
tank in the
talent on
NFL
this team.
either. So like while
No,
I say this and other people say this, like you can't just sit there and throw out
no,
grubs like you and me on the field. Like that's not going to fly in the NFL. It just won't happen.
no.
But you have to kind of like backwards ass kind of tank. But it's not going to happen. you guys knew in at the beginning of this year there was like a 2, maybe 3-year window with Aaron Rodgers. You can get to the playoffs in this year, get some guys some playoff experience under their belt. Who knows? Maybe Rodgers actually
Aaron's on
does
the
come back.
field. He's on the
Maybe he
field.
does
He's
come
throwing.
back.
He's on the field
Yeah.
throwing passes right now. That's not
Well,
supposed to happen.
you don't want it to be like going to like now if you go to
I know.
like
Yeah.
what's an old band like the Eagles or like Kiss or like some band they're just like propped up like they're playing their guitar like they're leaning on something or sitting down or whatever. You don't want
Yeah.
Aaron Rodgers going out there with like a footstool and like having to like sit down and playing with no mobility or whatever. But he might actually heal. He might do some
Yeah.
crazy weird stuff that makes it heal his non-COVID
I don't
body
know
and
whatever he's doing, keep it up.
hallucinogenic stuff.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Whatever he's doing,
Maybe he's
keep it
just
up.
staying really still.
Yeah.
I don't
Which
know.
is great. Whatever he's doing, I mean, incredible. The Jets' momentum. Jets had just kept getting momentum in the game, and it was killed by injuries or penalties. But I'm not sitting here angry right now because the Jets are 3-3 and they just beat the
No.
previously
You're pumped.
undefeated Eagles. So
Yeah.
I'm a
Dude,
happy guy.
well done. I'm so tired of their fucking 3-yard quarterback sneaks all the way down the field. I'm
Not one tush
so
push
sick of
today.
it. Good.
Yeah,
You
they
can't
didn't get
come at the
into
Jets
yeah,
defense with that. You can't. So get out of here.
yeah.
Get out of here. Doesn't
It's true.
matter how many people push you. We're gonna push you right back with all 11.
There was
Jets
not
defense
one.
is
Yeah,
great.
there wasn't one third or fourth and short for the Eagles all day.
Yeah. I won't go off on NFL rules, but it's a made for TV drama. So,
It
we
really
change
is.
rules to acquiesce to the TV market. But I don't get that one. I don't get that one. I think if I don't think there should be such thing as a free play, like where you have absolutely no real ramifications for running around and doing whatever you do and then throwing it down the field and then like whatever. Just call it dead because nothing good comes from that other than their ability
Just
to
call it
decline
dead.
it.
Then just call
Call
it
it
dead.
dead. Just make it a dead ball foul on the
Yeah.
defense or the offense. Like I don't get the
If the
replay thing.
defense, yeah, if the defense is offsides, call the play dead. Don't let
Yeah.
the Jets throw themselves into a penalty that supersedes the offsides,
Well, think of
and
it
then
this way
give the
too. What
defense
if
an
that
advantage.
guy's offsides and gets a running start at your quarterback, and you're the rule
Yeah,
is let the play go. You're just going to let him go unabated to the quarter, and that's kind of a rule that's in college is unabated to the quarterback. I don't know if it's an NFL rule or whatever, but at the same time, like somebody's going to take a shot, or somebody could get hurt on a play that literally doesn't count. So call it dead. Change rules all the time. Change that one.
change
That
it.
was dumb,
I agree. I agree.
stupid,
Just change it.
poop.
So Eagles undefeated no more.
But I
Niners, who we talked about, could they go undefeated this year? Evidently not, because they had a big. I think it was 9.5. At one point, it was 10.5, but I think this morning it was 9.5 point spread against the Browns. No Deshaun Watson, Nick Chubb out for the year. Browns 19, Niners 17. I mean, Christian McCaffrey scored a touchdown literally 1 minute into this game, and you're like, oh, the route's on. This is it. McCaffrey then gets hurt, and the Browns just keep this a game. I didn't watch the whole game, but I followed as much as I could. And in the end, it came down to a missed field goal for the Niners, and they lose. And now Mercury Morris is lighting a cigar. The Dolphins are still the only undefeated team.
still alive.
Yeah, I think so.
A lot
I
of
mean,
cigars
I hope he's alive. I just said he's lighting a cigar somewhere. Hopefully it's
somewhere
not underground.
up there, maybe. Who
I think
knows?
maybe he's wherever he is, he's lighting that cigar because there
Yep.
are no undefeated teams left. I
Yep.
mean, I don't know what to say. I think this is a case of the Browns just have a really fucking good defense, similar to the Jets. Those Jets and Browns are two teams that have really top tier defenses, and your offense is dealing with some issues, and you doing enough to get it done and win a game in the NFL. And the Browns, they're just that.
Yeah, I'm pumped. I watched a good amount of this game. I'm a Browns fan. I'm definitely a big fan of the Cleveland Browns. I mean, they showed out backup quarterback today. Big thing was McCaffrey going out though. I don't think
Yes.
this team believes in themselves all game. If that doesn't happen, I
No.
think that happens, and you see an opportunity.
Yeah.
You pin your ears back as a defensive lineman or linebacker, and you start hitting people. But yeah, the what was the backup? PJ Walker showing up
Yes.
again from the USFL gift that keeps on giving or whatever. Spring football, man. I
Yeah.
love
I
PJ
mean,
Walker,
let's be real.
and
He had 192 yards, 2 picks, a 45 passer
no,
rating.
he didn't do
He
anything.
didn't
He
need to
did
do.
not do anything. But what did he do that your 250, $270 million quarterback didn't do? He freaking won. He beat the 49ers. It doesn't matter. So
Yeah.
Hunt had a good game. Ford had a decent game. And you're right. It was the defense. But yeah, this was one of those weird scores, 19-17. Um, San Francisco had the opportunity to win it at the end. Cleveland got a little lucky. But hey,
Yes.
one more win, stack the dubs, get close to the playoffs, and make Chris look good, please.
Huge. Huge.
Yeah,
Good for
huge.
the Browns. I don't know. I know McCaffrey's an oblique. I don't know if they've ruled him out for a couple weeks or if it's a managing thing. I know with baseball, oblique is usually like 2 weeks, 3 weeks.
If
It's
you're
it's
Giancarlo Stanton, it's an entire
well,
season.
yeah. I mean, he'll grow an oblique just to strain it and miss another month. So it's one of those things.
Yep.
I hope he's okay because he's so fun to watch. He got his touchdown streak extended.
I was gonna
Uh,
say he's got a little streak going. He better play, or I hope he plays.
Yeah. Well, I think if he's ruled out, the streak still goes because it's
In
going to be
games
like
that
when
he
he's
played.
active. Yeah.
Yeah,
But
gotcha.
once he was out, I thought you'd see a little more Elijah Mitchell, but he only got 2 carries. You had Jordan Mason get 5 carries. Raven McLeod got two. Like
Right, right.
Debo, I don't know. They didn't get into a rhythm. We've seen Elijah Mitchell do it in the past. I think if McCaffrey misses a game or two, I think they should give it to Mitchell. Maybe Jordan Mason. Maybe he can do something. He did have a touchdown, 5.4 yards a carry on 27 yards, 5 carries, whatever. But the Niners will be fine. The Eagles will be fine, but no longer undefeated. The NFL is truly
It was
any given
Brock Purdy's
Sunday.
first loss in the NFL,
This
or
was
first regular season
this
loss.
was, and he did not play well.
No, he
Uh,
had one ball where he just falls out, just straight up fumbled because I think it was wet out. I think it
yeah,
was kind of a damp game. But yeah, Brock Purdy
yeah.
no longer immaculate in the regular season.
And I think something with Jim Schwartz undefeated against the Niners. There was a stat that I saw that kept me kind of away from taking Niners 9.5, and I typically don't take those big spreads in the NFL anyway. So
Hmm.
I wanted to avoid this one, and boy, I'm glad I did. I didn't have the balls to take Browns money line or Jets money line.
I knew
Um,
there was going to be one game that the Niners like struggled that was like, you know, and then I don't think they lose. I don't even think they lose one more game the rest of the season. I thought it was going to be a Cowboys game. Well, lo and behold, it's the Browns, but I think the 49ers are going to end up being like, 16-1 or 17-1, whatever it ends up. I don't know how many weeks in the NFL season there are anymore, but I think they end up being still pretty unbelievable, depending on McCaffrey and how long he's out. Plug and play in the
yes,
Shanahan offense, right? Turn and burn those running backs. That's where it started.
yeah, but McCaffrey is a different animal. They need
Did
him.
you know that Kyle Shanahan was Christian McCaffrey's like babysitter when he was a kid?
No,
Because
no, I had no
Ed
idea.
McCaffrey was a wide receiver who played for Mike Shanahan, and Kyle Shanahan was a
Really?
kid or like a teenager. Chris McCaffrey was like a baby. Is that kind of
Wow,
wild?
wow.
Like full circle.
Yeah, I did not know that.
Yeah, that's why he traded for him. He was like, I need this guy. And of course, thank goodness he's the best running back in the NFL too.
Yeah, worked out. It's a match made in heaven for the Niners. The Giants. I mean, it is 6-0, and that's another turnover for the Bills. I think Josh Allen's kryptonite might be the Jets and the Giants.
Downstate New York.
Teams that play in MetLife, we'll call them, because we're not
He's
saying New
allergic.
York teams because the Bills are the
Sorry,
teams
he's
that
allergic
actually
to New
plays in the
Jersey.
state of New York.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's
Yep.
allergic to Jersey. That's fair enough. That's fair. But
I mean,
They're home right now.
yeah,
They're
I
in
just realized
Buffalo.
that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Dude, the Giants should always wear these uniforms.
I
The
love
Giants on
them
the
too.
helmet. These are the Tyrone
Those,
Wheatley,
yeah,
the Tiki Bar. No, even before
the
Tiki Barber,
Lawrence
the
Taylor, like,
Rodney Hampton. Yeah,
yeah,
exactly.
makes you
Lawrence.
stay
That
home.
was the obvious one.
Yeah.
I'm naming random peripheral
Yeah.
players.
No, but this no,
LT,
I
yeah,
like yeah, I like these Giants uniforms.
same.
There were some good throwback uniforms across the league today. The Buccaneers threw that like orange cream
Yeah,
uniform today. There were a couple of
yeah,
good
I
ones
love that one.
I
That
enjoyed.
one, I do love the Jets classic uniform too, with Jets with the kind of silhouette of the plane. Like, I think
Mhm.
that's classic. It's cool. Green and white is a cool color combo, and then the old Giants logo too. Like, only old logo that shouldn't be allowed is the Redskins logo. Throwback. Let's do a Redskins throw or Commanders throwback.
Yeah.
That's gonna crack me
Well,
up.
some Native American groups want the Redskins logo back. They want it. I don't know what's going on there. I mean, I told you this. We went to Lids looking for some Commanders gear for Chris Carey's birthday, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not getting any Commanders gear. They're going to change the team. They're going to change the logo."
They're
But
anticipating it. They're like, yeah, this
yeah,
this name's stupid.
yeah.
We all know it.
I mean, come on.
Yeah. No, I don't even know that they change it. I really don't. If they do, I hope they go back to Washington football. I hope they do DCFC
I like
or
the
the
Washington
Washington
football team. I
Generals.
kind of like the Washington
Yeah.
football team.
I think
Go
the
back to
fan
that.
base liked it too. I think they were like, we appreciate the irony of this, but
Yeah,
it's also just like, aligns with like how soccer teams look and international brands are in terms of sports teams because mascots, they're literally a depiction of something that,
yeah.
if it's a person or animal, whatever, could offend somebody. So, whatever. Who knows? I think Commanders are here to stay. I think they're going to stay the Commanders, but could be an opportunity to make some more money on merchandise if you change for what, a fourth time now. Like,
Just keep churning out the new merch. Why not?
yeah,
Why not? I mean,
yeah.
well,
I'm
speaking of
tired of buying it.
Commanders, you said Commanders are here to stay. You
They
took the
are.
Commanders plus 2.5, and they won outright. Commanders 24, Falcons 16. Sam Howell, I think he's good. I think he's good. I have faith in the Commanders because I know their defense is good. They've struggled the last couple of weeks, but the Falcons are just not it. They're not. I'm disappointed in kind of what they're doing. I know Desmond Ritter is not it at all, but Desmond Ritter threw 300 yards today. I mean,
Well, he threw almost 50 times too.
why? I'm sorry. You have Bijan Robinson and you give him 13 carries and you give Tyler Algier, who, fine, he's fine, but he's not Bijan Robinson. And you're in a 50-50 split with Bijan and Tyler Algier. Come on. Come on, get it together here. You were winning games running Bijan down people's throats and throwing to the tight end and the running backs. And now, all of a sudden Desmond Ridder has 300 yards, Drake London has 120 yards and 9 catches, and you're losing.
Yeah, look at the. I was just gonna say, look at the box score and tell me how this team didn't win. I felt that the
I can look at
Falcons.
Bijan's final line. That's why he's
Yeah,
the best player on the team.
I don't know anything about this Arthur Smith guy or whatever. He kind of looks like my mailman or something. But like, at the end of the day, he's supposed to be a pretty good defensive coach. But there's some serious offensive numbers that went up in this game. But what happened here? The turnover battle. Desmond Ritter throws 3 picks. Throws a pick that ends the game. Like, the Washington defense has not played great pass defense. You're throwing 3 picks. As no bueno. Sam Howell didn't like
Not
go
good.
crazy or do anything, but he didn't throw 3 picks. He threw 3 touchdowns, and
He threw three touchdowns and 0 picks. He did
yeah,
exactly what he had to do, and that's a 119 passer rating right there for you.
yeah, this was a game of field position more than anything, field position and turnovers. And I'm glad we came out on the right side of this because I just don't think we did enough that said we deserve to win this game. But I just had this sneaky suspicion that the Falcons were not ready to be a winning team, and they weren't clicking the way that I think some folks thought that they were clicking, especially on offense. The defense maybe, but the offense, and you're going to throw 47 times with Desmond Ritter. Good luck. Have at it. I'll take that all day. I'll bet against it all day. I like Desmond Ritter. I think he's a great player, an individual talent, but I don't think he fits what you're
I
trying to
don't think
do
he's
there.
good. I don't think he's
Yeah.
good.
Well, I mean, you hit the nail on the head. I mean, there's nothing else to talk about. Hand the ball to Bijan Robinson or throw the ball to Bijan Robinson. That's about all you got to do. But an even split with him and Tyler Algier, to me, that says that you value them the same, or you think that they have the same skill set, and both those things are incorrect. So I own a share of Bijan, and I know you own a share of Bijan in fantasy too. So maybe we're talking from
And
passion and
Tannehill
whatnot.
Jr. has
But
proven that he's a solid running back. But
sure,
solid running back in that offense, that should be, Ritter's throwing maybe 20 passes a game, and you're giving it to Bijan 25 times and Algier 10 to 15 times.
but he's got to
Like,
be
get
the
him
Liddell
going.
Betts to the Clinton Portis. He's got to be the number two. He can't be the 1B. Like he's got to be what Charbonnet is to
Yeah,
Kenneth Walker. While they're both uber talented, they're
yeah,
using that tandem the correct way.
yeah. And
Is
I
a
know it's
spell
not
back and a
it's
third down back.
and it's not exactly easy to run right up the middle against the Commanders. That's kind of their strength. And you saw their secondary looked weak last week in a loss. So I get kind of the concept there, but the Falcons are not a team built to do that. You just
No,
play like you should be playing, and maybe you'll keep it a game. But hey, again, Commanders. I had Commanders over 6.5 wins on the year. They're at 3, and I also
solid.
have them to make the playoffs. We'll see about that, but if we hit the if we hit 7 wins, I'll be happy.
I don't know.
Go Mandarins,
Giants are
baby.
beating the Bills and things are happening like that. I don't
A-
even know what's
All
what.
over the league, nobody knows. No, we don't know what's going on. There's really no way to predict this shit right now. There's really
Nope.
not. I think we get another game. This was one of my picks that lost. Texans 20, Saints 13. It was a pick I didn't love. I'm come out and say it. Like I took it,
It was a close
and
spread. I know why you
it was
took
a
it.
it was a close spread, and I thought the Saints were the better team.
Yep.
Um,
Especially with Kamara back. I know why you took it. This was my runner up. So I'm right there
yeah, it
with
was
you.
it was it was tight. It was tight. I really liked Bengals -3. That you took that one. That one hit. Um, I wanted to. I want to give more picks to the people. I don't want to talk about the same games, all the time. I don't want to be picking two of the same games every week. So I want to diversify. But uh, I don't know what's going on with the Saints. They're not getting it done. Derek Carr. I don't know. I don't
Mediocre,
know.
man.
But CJ
He's a
Stroud looks
little
good,
above
and
average.
that's.
Yeah. I can't believe you bet against CJ Stroud.
Well, I
This
didn't
guy's
want
dropping
to.
dimes down the
I
field all the time. He's
It
got
wasn't.
four
It
wide
wasn't.
receivers out there. Dalton Schultz, he's crushing it. He is like, you don't want to pick me number one? You want to take that clown from down south? You want to take Bryce Young, the undersized quarterback? You want to say that I can't run? You want to say that I can't play at the highest level? He's out there balling, like backyard balling. And
This
this was something I stayed away from because it was a pick 'em game. And I don't know enough about D'Amico Ryans and the Texans to go for it. But I see what happened with you there is you got the Saints and they have all the talent in the world. Olave, Kamara, Derek Carr signs a big
that's what
contract.
it comes
Michael
down to.
Thomas having a comeback here. You got Taysom Hill. You've got game changing playmakers, but you're just not doing it. I think they're missing Sean Payton. I think Sean Payton's missing them. But Texans, let's freaking go, CJ. Let's go.
Texans got their quarterback, and they're 3-3. They're looking very good.
It's
Um,
impressive. Quarterback league, though.
the thing that concerned me as a Damian Pierce fantasy owner is he had 34 yards on 13 carries. Devin Singletary had a 58 yards on 12 carries. That's looking like an even split, like there, right there.
Not
That
real raggy.
concerns me.
Mm-hmm.
But Nico Collins had a good game. You have some weapons there.
Nico.
Bobby Trees didn't do too much, but he did have a touchdown.
Good game
Dalton
last week.
Schultz, big game.
Yep.
They did what they had to do, and it really came down to Carr just not getting it done in the end. I think he threw the pick to end the game. Kamara didn't really have a. Come, the thing with Kamara too is he's 7 catches, 36 yards. Like that's his bread and butter. He had 19 carries, 68 yards. That's a 3.6 yards per carry. Like it's not. Kamara's always had like bruisers that would kind of take the bulk of the carries and run up the middle.
Ingram,
Yeah.
Latavius. Yeah.
Yes, exactly. And they're trying to do it all with Kamara, and I don't think he's fit for that. And I don't think he's ready for it. It's only his second week back. It's kind of odd.
He's kind of a geriatric running back too. He's like 26 or 27. I mean, he's like way too old to be doing this. It's crazy. I can't believe it.
Yeah,
But yeah,
it's like
no, I do. The Texans have a sneaky advantage because they got this quarterback who can distribute the ball pretty much to anybody on the field, and you can't do what people do in the NFL, and it's like, oh, that's their number one. I'm going to put my number one corner on him. Oh, that's their strength. I'm going to go ahead and try to combat their strength. The Texans are just wide open. They're just they're just running backyard offense, and I don't think people can really game plan for it. They have to play more of a base defense against it right now. Opens up throwing lanes for CJ Stroud. He gets a little bit mobile. He creates his own, but like you can't attack them. I mean, you can attack them. You can blitz and whatnot and go for the quarterback. But at the end of the day, you got four wide receivers, Dalton Schultz, and a decent running back who can all make plays. And CJ's just playing point guard right now.
yeah. Texas looking good. And keeping it rolling. Took the over in this one, and it didn't really come close.
Richie Overs
Yeah,
strikes again.
Richie Overs falls flat on this one. Lions 20,
They're
Bucks
going to score
6.
so many points.
I mean, the Lions have been basically in the over every week, and the Buccaneers have had a good offense this year. I thought Baker would be able to do a little bit more, but
Didn't even come close, man.
no, the Bucks couldn't get anything going. The Lions look really good. I don't have a ton to say about this game, but I'm not a huge Bucks fan, but I think they can score,
Hmm.
especially with those receivers and with Baker playing well. But the Lions got the job done today, and they shut them down. It was actually a tight game first half, but they took over. Should have just taken
Yeah.
Lions spread, but
Yeah. What were you thinking?
yeah, it
Oh,
happens.
it happened. But yeah, no, if there's like post Tom Brady, I'm rooting for this Buccaneers team. I'd love to see Todd Bowles be successful as a head coach at some point.
I
And
don't think
I
it's going to
like
happen.
Baker. This is like Baker's like he's like, it's my second song. This is my last chance. Like this is my last chance to be the starter and not the backup, I feel like. And I think he's playing well. I think he's earning it, but yeah, not today. Today was ugly. And
Yeah.
the only other thing I got to say about this game is Jamison Williams averages like 43 yards catch in his NFL career, which is incredible. So,
If you can find him deep, he will hit that. But he's got to, and I think Campbell has said this. Like he's got to prove he can be just a competent receiver and not just that bomb
he's a
threat,
speed guy. He's a straight line speed
like a
guy.
Robbie Anderson or Robbie Chosen, whatever he's going by nowadays. Like, do you want to be that, or do you want to be a superstar wide receiver who, yeah, you can be a Tyreek Hill and break down, but you could also dominate a game and catch 8, 9 passes in a game. You gotta do more.
This
So
is the transition that I think Olave is making, who was like a straight
mhm,
down the field bomber type of guy. And I think he's becoming a dominant, number one wide receiver. Jamison Williams has all the tools to do it. But man, that guy gets running in one direction very, very fast. And I mean, that's kind of what they've used him for so far. You've got other great receivers there. The guy's got a lot of talent, but who knows? Maybe he had any time touchdown on himself here today, and he'll be out for another 6 weeks. I was
maybe,
pumped. Let's
maybe
go! I had to start him in one of my fantasy leagues. I was like, ugh,
that was
it's
a
gross.
that was a Hail Mary start, but it worked out for you. It
Literally,
literally hit the Hail Mary, and
literally
you got your
was.
points. So
Well done. Yeah,
congrats, very nice.
thanks. Pumped
Move,
about it. Might
yeah,
might steal a win.
yeah, that's it. Moving on. This was my one win of the week. Rams
Woo!
26, Cardinals 9. The Cardinals had me terrified again because the Cardinals knocked me out of Survivor, beating the Cowboys. And then I took the Rams -7, and at halftime, I think it was tied, or the Rams were up by 2. It was tight. It was tight, but the Rams pulled away in the second half, as they should. I'm really impressed with the Rams this year. I don't know why, but I didn't like last year when they came off the Super Bowl and just looked weird. They just
Yeah,
they didn't do anything. And I know they went all in, like the franchise went all in. It was money, to get these guys. But you still had Stafford, and he's not ancient. He can still play, and you still have Cooper Cup. And now all of a sudden, you got Puka, Tutu. You got some guys there. Kyron Williams looks like a legitimate RB1, 158 yards and a touchdown on 20 carries today. The
that's
the Rams the
ridiculous.
Rams I think they're 3-3 now. I think they could score with anybody. I think this was an easy one, and it hit. The Cardinals are 1-5. They're playing really well. Like they're playing better than I think a lot of people thought. Props to their coach there. They're doing an okay job. Props to Josh Dobbs, but they don't have the talent, especially with the running back out. Oh, geez, what's the running back's name?
James Conner.
James Conner.
John
Uh,
Connor? James Conner.
James Conner. John Connor was a fullback for the Jets, who also the name of the Terminator. So they would call him the
Definitely.
Terminator. But yes, James Conner. That hurt them for sure. Keontae Ingram and Damian Williams and Amari DiMaccardo, they kind of split carries. They don't know what they're going to do there. Connor was the guy, and he was playing well.
Sounds like a
That
soccer
hurts them.
team. Yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know. I mean, dude, nobody told the Cardinals players and coach that they weren't supposed to be good or they weren't supposed to try this year. And I think that's what's
They're
happening
playing
is
well.
the players are playing for their job, the coach is playing to prove something, but ownership and the front office doesn't necessarily want to win. So you've
Yes.
got that kind of struggle right now between individuals performing and the overall kind of business model that they're going for. I think right now. So I don't know. I love watching the Cardinals. They're in every game. They weren't in this one, but I didn't think the Rams were going to be good this year, and I
I
thought
didn't
because
either.
yeah,
Didn't either. Nobody knew
I
about
thought
Puka. Nobody really knew how good he would be, how
that's what
good
I think.
Puka
I
would
think
be.
Puka and Tutu saved their season. Otherwise, we would have had another blah Rams team. Like you
Yeah.
got Puka, Tutu, and Cup,
Kyron Williams too.
and
And
Kyron Williams. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. This to me came out of nowhere.
yeah.
Stafford
I'm a
doesn't seem
Stafford
like he has
fan.
to.
I'm a Stafford fan.
Yeah, he
He's
doesn't seem like he has to go out and win the games though.
no, no.
They're winning as a team, but like yeah, there's a couple of individuals on in this box score that are just like
He's got
popping
three
out.
guys who can get open, and he can find one of the three.
Yeah, it's
Even
like a
Higbee a
nice
little bit.
West Coast Madden
Yeah,
style offense right there. Like it's I don't know. I'm surprised by the Rams. But
yeah,
again, this is a game they should win. A game against the Cardinals this year is a game everybody should win, but I didn't expect them to be 3-3.
yeah. Moving on to so we talked about your Commanders pick. That was one win. You went
Mander,
three and
Mander,
zero. You
Mander.
went 3-0 this week on your picks.
I
Very
did.
nice
What am I up
work.
to for the season? So
Um,
it gives me.
think we're both
I
very
was seven
close
and
now.
six. I'm now 10-6, and you
You
were
are
8 or 9, and
you are 11-7, and I am twelve
woo,
and six. So we're
nice.
making the people money. I mean, if you want picks, you want winners. Check out the Sports
Come to the
Clash,
well, drink.
TikTok, Twitter, Instagram. I'm posting it everywhere. We're picking 3 games each week, and we both have good records. If you're riding with us each week, every pick, you're making money. So I love
Yep.
it. I'm happy. It makes me proud. We kind of know what we're talking about. We'll see. But that's another
Until we don't.
winner. Vikings 19, Bears 13. You had some weird stuff going in this game. Fields left the game. I think he had dislocated thumb. Apparently, he tried to like pop it back in and come back, but
Brilliant.
couldn't hold the
Always a good
ball.
idea.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
As a quarterback, always a good idea.
No, didn't work out. We know the Bears are a shit show, but this was a close game. It was 19-13, but Vikings prevailed. Uh, Kirk didn't have one of his biggest games, but he didn't need to this week, and Vikings move on. They're looking a little better. I guess is that two in a
Yeah.
row for the Vikings?
Yeah,
Or
I just figured at some point the Vikings have to win. If they started 1-5, like I know they're down Jefferson, whatever, but you got some weapons. You got some secondary receivers. Addison was a good draft pick. Osborne's always coming up with plays. They're definitely missing Thielen and Dalvin Cook right now, but this is where Kirk Cousins needs to earn his money and distribute the ball to people other than Justin Jefferson. And I
that's
think it was a
tough.
good
Yeah,
team win against a bad team
yeah,
against the Bears. So
yeah.
this was a building block they needed to win. This was a
They had
must
to. It
win.
was a must win. They've won 2 of their last 3. They lost against the Chiefs last week, but won the previous week. So you're 2-4. Um, that's what it comes down to. Is it was a win again? It was a must win. It was a win
Hmm.
against a bad team that you had to get. if you're the Vikings and you're a team
19-13. What a
that,
brutal score. Two
yeah,
brutal teams too.
yeah. They play they play Monday night next week against the Niners. The
Oh,
Niners. Then it depends on McCaffrey. I mean, if he's out, who knows? It is in Minnesota, so who knows? But that could be like a pissed off 49ers team just ready to shove it down Kirk's throat.
yeah. No, I could definitely see that. And when Kirk gets hit, he's not fragile, but he'll say, "Oh shucks," and he'll let you know that he got hit. We watched
Yeah,
that show,
yeah.
Quarterback or whatever. But against Bosa, against that 49ers defense, I mean, he Kirk hasn't had the most protection in the pocket. It could get ugly. Another primetime game, it could get pretty ugly. I think they anticipated Justin Jefferson, Kirk Cousins coming off his Netflix special against, Brock Purdy, the undrafted guy, and the 49ers,
Mm.
losers or sorry, Super Bowl champions or whatever. But, at the end of the day, can we flex some of these games? Can we change them? Uh, I don't want
I
to
mean,
watch
who
the
knows?
Vikings.
I was like, why can't you flex this Giants game off of Sunday Night Football? And now 7 minutes left in the third. It's 6-0 Giants. The Giants have had some blunders too. They should be up more. They really should have had some points going into the half, but screwed up. Had a run play right up the middle without any timeouts. The Jets did that the previous week. So these teams. I mean, you got to be smart. Come on, that's
These
amateur.
kids, how do we connect with them? I don't know.
I don't know, but yeah,
Yeah, no, you just don't. I just don't bet these primetime games. I bet on players rather than spreads in the primetime game because this shit
yeah,
happens. This is with
yeah.
the Giants' fifth primetime game. They have the most primetime experience. That they know how to do this. They know how to meet with
You know how to
the TV
lose.
crew. They know how to warm up and deal with the commercial breaks. They've got more primetime games under their belt than any other franchise this season. I'm pretty sure.
Giants and
I'm
Jets
tired of
have
watching
had
the freaking Giants.
Giants and Jets have a I don't know what the number is, but I've heard like the record's bad. Like they have had a lot of primetime games the last couple of years, and it's been bad overall. But
Kind of funny. You have Daniel Jones for several games to start the year without Saquon. Saquon comes back for this one.
and
Oh
Daniel
my
Jones
God,
is good.
we're winning.
Yeah,
What? Who should we pay? Maybe the running back. Maybe the guy
maybe the guy who's
that makes a
clearly the most
difference.
talented. Yeah,
Yeah. If there's any running back in the NFL to get paid, it was, Jonathan Taylor who got a, nice little cute mid-level contract or whatever.
mhm,
It was Saquon last year. And then he signed for some like lame deal that kind of sounded like they even tricked him into it. Like
yeah,
it just,
yeah,
I feel bad for the guy. Like that dude should be making money hand over fist.
yeah. Last game we want to talk about in depth. Last pick of the week. Bengals 17, Seahawks 13. This was the one that where I should have just instead of the Saints, I should have just taken Bengals and
Mhm.
just given the people less options. But hey, trying to mix it up here. Good. The Seahawks, I think,
Doing
and
it for the people,
the whole
for the
reason I
public.
loved it too is the Seahawks, the perception was positive after that, after they destroyed the Giants, but the Giants' offensive line is terrible. The Seahawks have an okay defense, but they're not. Geno Smith is not doing what he did last year, and I'm I don't hate Geno, but I'm happy to see it because it pissed me off to see him succeed so much last year. And I don't like Pete Carroll. I've had enough of the Legion of Boom. They're not the Legion of Boom anymore. The six man, that's just it's not. They're not there anymore. They're not that Seahawks team, and I feel like they get treated as that still, but they're not there. And Bengals, Joe Burrow, Chase, they got it done. Bengals 17, Seahawks 13.
I
Nice
mean,
one.
they're kind of like the Legion in training right now, man. You saw that guy Witherspoon the other day playing like he's Richard Sherman out there. But I this was a game you probably should have picked because I know how you hate the Seahawks. This is a game that I actually and I turned up. I have a new red zone addiction. Turned off red zone thanks to you. Yeah, I know. It's ADD. Oh, what they're not scoring on this play is bullshit.
It's
But
great.
yeah, no. What annoy this complete tangent right now, but
That's
like
fine.
when there's a highlight and then all of a sudden I'm looking away from the TV and they're like, oh, and there's I hear the referee calling a flag, but they switched the game and I'm like, Wait, what was that? I don't even know. But anywho, I watched the Seahawks and Bengals game. Teams that I like, I tend to invest my time in. I love the Seahawks. I love the talent on their team. I don't love Geno Smith, but everybody else on the team, I love. I think the Seahawks have a great team. I really do. I think Pete Carroll is really good at putting personnel together, and they do a good. He might not be a good coach, but he's good at being the rah rah we're a team type of thing. Bengals were due though. Joey Ball game was mobile. His lack of calves was unnoticeable. He absolutely looked pretty good. I mean, there were some drops by Higgins. There were a couple of bad throws trying to force it to Jamar, but obviously not a Burrow stat line. But the Bengals come out with the win. The defense is playing well. They're a top
That's
top 12. They're a rosterable, startable fantasy defense, and the next, I think, four out of the next or three out of the next 5 games are kind of cakewalks on defense for them. So I expect the offense to kind of get up to speed with the rest of the team, and I think the Bengals are going to start rolling from here on out.
I can see that. I'm looking at these games and teams' records. I feel like half the league's 3-3 right
Everyone's 3-3. It's great. I love it.
now. I mean, it's awesome. It's great for the league, but like, what? You're gonna get to that breaking point where you're gonna see which of these 3-3 teams can actually make the playoffs and which of them is just gonna fall off.
I'm betting on
We're
the
getting
three
there.
and three team that has a good record away from home. Um, I don't think that there's anybody who's like running away with the season, but still the 49ers and the Eagles are still the class of the league. Yeah, there's parity, man. It's kind of fun. Jets are
Yeah,
3-3. Commanders are 3-3. Everybody's 3-3. You got a 3-3. You're 500. Everybody's
you get
500.
3 wins, you get 3 losses. We're all the same. Everybody's equal.
Yeah, Arizona, fuck you, but yeah, everybody else is 3-3.
Aside from Arizona, that's it. Well, those are the games, the ones we were rooting for, the ones we were closely watching, the ones we bet on. Let's move along. Let's get to another week of guy or dude.
I'm just a regular, everyday, normal guy. Nothing special about me.
How do you do, dude?
He's a dude.
To move like that.
Corn Pop was a bad dude.
We
Dude.
we'll look at 3 players each week and talk about whether or not they're just a guy or they're that dude. It's been fun. I've been enjoying it each week. A nice little debate segment. I'm going to start off with someone who I think you love. I think you're probably going to go dude on, but Sam Howell, quarterback for your Washington Commanders, top 10 passing yards in the league right now. He's lighting it up each week. He's looked like a good fantasy quarterback. The Manders are another 3-3 team. They're right there. Sam Howell, Chris, is he that dude or just a guy?
I don't know. I'm having like chicken and the egg thoughts here with Bieniemy and Mahomes. Did Bieniemy make Mahomes, or did Mahomes make Bieniemy? Did Bieniemy make Howell, or is Howell making Bieniemy look good? I don't know. But Howell's got some pocket presence, and that's what I like about him. Is like the moxie. Like coming from Taylor Heineke teams, Hart is we're used to Hart. There's no drop off in Hart for Howell, but there's definitely an increase in talent with him. Top 10 passer in the league, had no idea about that. That surprises the shit out of me. There's been both sides of the spectrum, though. There's been extremes, but he's not turning the ball over egregiously ever. He's moving around well. He tucks it and runs, but he also holds on to it long enough to let plays develop too, which is not common for a young quarterback. Usually it's a quick 1-2 read. Justin Fields can't figure out who's his number 2 receiver in any progression. Howell's actually going through, letting plays develop and getting the ball down the field. And when he throws, he's got a freaking turning. And I think he's the leader too. I don't know. I'm like on the fence. Is he? I've had 25 quarterbacks in my lifetime. with the Commanders and the Washington franchise. So he could just be another guy, but I really think that he's just got the it factor. I don't know. I want to call him a bro instead of a dude, but like I don't know if there's an in between. If he's like got the mentality, but maybe not the talent. That's a bro. Who knows? But
Right now,
I think he's a dude.
right now,
Yeah,
dude.
he's a total dude. He's making our team better by trotting out on the field. He's not just filling a spot. He's making our team better, and that's why I'll say that he's definitely a dude.
Agreed, 100%. I think he's a dude.
One hundred
I
percent.
I
Zero
like
certainty. Zero
I
uncertainty.
really like what I see from Howell. I
Fun to
told you, in
watch.
passing yardage, he's up there. As far as fantasy, he's kind of out of like the top 10, but he had one really bad week. He had a really bad game against the Bills. No touchdowns, 4 picks, 170 yards. He had a bad game there. Every other game you look at fantasy wise, he was up and around 20 points, and that's where you want to be as a fantasy quarterback. I mean,
He's
three
startable.
hundred 300 yards, 2 touchdowns. If you take away that 4 interception game, he has 9 touchdowns and 2 picks in those 5 other games. And he's throwing a ton. He's throwing a lot of yardage. He's looking good, and he could also do it a little bit on the ground. Um, he didn't. He only had 3 yards rushing this week, but I like him. I think he's not a game manager. I think he is a dude. He
Oh yeah,
can get it done.
he's
He
not
can
a game
throw the
manager.
ball.
He's definitely not.
Yes, yeah, and I like him. I like Sam Howell as a dude. I love it.
Fifth round pick, Brock Purdy. Last round pick, Zach Wilson. Second overall pick. I don't know. Late quarterbacks, chip on the shoulder. I feel like I'm watching a college game when I watch Sam Howell though, and I feel like he's a college bro too. There's a picture on ESPN. He looks like he's got bedhead. Like I love the guy. I really do.
He looks weird. He doesn't look weird, but like seeing him in the helmet, like it just I don't know if he has the full look there, but
He looks like
I
a
just watching
sanitation
him
worker from
play.
Staten Island. I love him.
It's great. I love it. He's the dude. I love it.
Total
Next
dude.
guy, going to baseball here, switching it up. Rangers starting pitcher, former Yankee, former Cardinal, Jordan Montgomery started game one of the ALCS. 6 1/3 innings, 5 hits, no runs, 6 Ks in Houston. Coming from my perspective as a Yankee fan, I still think he's a guy. I still think he's ceiling number 2, probably settles more into a number 3. The regular season, he was 10-11, a 3.2 ERA. Those are good numbers, but guy numbers regardless. He's not that dude. He's not number 1. For me, he's a guy, but I'm very proud and impressed of him going into Houston, who I need to see this team lose. I've had enough. Had enough. I'm big, all in on the Rangers right here in this ALCS. But Monty's got him in position to win. Hope they hang on, but he's a guy for me. What do you think?
Yeah, dude, at 3 games in the playoffs this year, 2.08 ERA. I mean, he's incredible right now on this run that the Texas Rangers are on, leading the charge, really. It's funny. Did anybody expect it to be Jordan Montgomery? You got, DeGrom, you signed for a lot and trade for Scherzer or whatnot. But, Montgomery is the dude I said on this show, like he's the guy that you have to go get if you're the Orioles because his postseason experience is really showing up. But he's also, you know, he's a lefty.
That's
He's
the big
only
thing.
30 years old. He's not going to be expensive. He might be after this playoff run, but he's a free agent and he's earning his money right now. So who knows? Some people are money motivated. I know salespeople are, but so are pending free agents in sports. So his postseason numbers are much better right now than his regular season numbers, but I think he's knocking on dude's door. I do. I think he's one of those guys that like a Verlander that or I'm trying to think of somebody else, but late in the career pitchers who pitch become great pitchers, whereas earlier in their career they're expected to throw harder or throw more sliders or do whatever. I think Montgomery is he's got some vibes going right now. He's cruising through games. He's got no hiccups, and he's got a good repertoire. So I am a fan. I want the O's to go out and sign him in the offseason because he's a free agent,
He's
and he's the
there.
guy who we should have gotten, and I feel like we tried to get, but we ended up with, hey, we let that guy go, but hey, we got Jack Flaherty on clearance over here. What do you think? Time's ticking, and we ended up with Jack Flaherty. So I'm a fan of Jordan Montgomery. I want to see him pitch in the World Series. And I know
I do. Too.
we talked about the Yankee connection, whatever. I totally even forgot he was on the Yankees. To be honest with you, they traded him to St. Louis, but whatever. The
It
Yankee
was the
fans
Raider
saying,
move,
"Oh, should have
and
kept on.
now you
Should have
hate
kept."
David.
Some people don't pitch well in the cold. Some people don't pitch well in New York. Some people don't pitch well in the National Leagues. So he might have just found his perfect spot. Same thing with Evaldi. Evaldi's from Houston, found his perfect spot, and the team they're hungry, and it'll make me feel really good if they make a World Series run. Like we didn't just get fucked by the new format. Anywho,
Yeah,
get out of here. He's a borderline dude, Femi dude.
but a guy.
Yeah,
Okay. And he's gonna
you'd
get.
invite him out with a group of
He's
friends, but not a one-on-one hangout.
if the Rangers win the World Series, and he's a big reason why, he might get some dude money.
Yeah,
And good for him.
Rodon money.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking of. That's dude money, and
Secure the bag.
we'll see. We'll see if Rodon is actually that dude. But last
Yeah,
guy,
I mean,
yeah, I don't want
sorry.
to get into him.
Let's move. Yeah, let's get out of here. I traded him in Dynasty. Get out of here.
I got one more for guy, dude. Going back to football, wide receiver on the Raiders, Jakobi Meyers. Dude has played 5 games this year. He's got 30 catches in 5 games. That's about 6 catches a game. He's got 4 touchdowns. He's outplaying Devontae Adams right now. He's 26 years old. He didn't do anything as a Patriot. They never got him going, and now going to the Raiders. He's got Josh McDaniels there, but they're featuring him, and they're winning games with him outperforming Devontae Adams. I'm impressed. I'm it's one of those. He's got to show more before he is fairly that dude. He's borderline, but for now,
you gotta make a call.
For now, I'm making the call, and he's just a guy. But he's up there. I'm surprised at how well he's doing. He's got dude numbers. He's putting it up. He's doing well. I didn't even realize it until I played him in fantasy last week, and he single-handedly beat me. He had like a 20-something point game. It was rough. But he had another. Then I was tracking after that one. I was like, okay, let's see what he does against the Patriots. Caught another touchdown, another solid game. Again, outperforming Adams. Looking good. Borderline dude, but right now a guy. What do you think?
Yeah, no, I'm surprised. You gave me a story and painted the picture of dude, and that this was a game-changing wide receiver. But I lean guy too, because let's say Devontae goes out, then Jakobi gets a little bit more attention and maybe doesn't have as much success on those targets. I don't believe in McDaniels as a coach.
No.
And I do believe in Belichick as a coach, but Jakobi Meyers has not done enough to show me that he is, one of those number one receivers that people go out and sign and they just feed like a Devontae Adams, right? But I don't think Jakobi Meyers is a dude. Not a big fan.
That's fair. It was a borderline suggestion, but I'm impressed with what I've been seeing, and I wanted to just nominate and say.
Well, you saw firsthand. Yeah,
we might revisit him a couple of weeks, and if he keeps the Raiders win some games, and I think they're another 3-3 team. So it's like, all right, that was Guy or Dude. We're gonna close it out this week with another rendition of the good, the bad, and the shitty. I'll get us going with my good, Bryce Harper, baby.
Damn it!
Thanks.
Okay, I had a secondary one. Yeah, we can agree on this one. All right, this should be highlighted.
Clearly, dude. But he's
total dude.
He's a good. He's great. I
He's a
mean,
dog. He's everything.
6 for 13, 3 homers, 5 RBIs as the Phillies move on to the NLCS. I had a little bit of scare with the elbow injury at first, but it says he's all good, ready to go. They had the whole Orlando Arcia, attaboy Harper quote that became a whole thing. That clearly pissed him off and motivated him. He had 2 home runs in that game and stared a hole in Arcia as he rounded second. Um, Quick backstory on that. I mean, he was picked off to end one of the games, the only game that the Braves won, but responded with a 2 homer game and really just let the Braves have it. I love Bryce. I'm having really, I'm pissed that I wanted the Yankees to get him when he was available a couple of years back, and Cashman said we have enough outfielders. No, you didn't have enough outfielders, but good for Bryce. Like, lovable guy. I mean, it's hard not to root for him. I'm starting to get I think it's envy. I think it's jealousy, but I'm starting to get pissed off at Philly right now. But they still haven't won the big one. I'm waiting for that. Uh, but good
Saw
for
some
Bryce.
article about them being a likable team. I was like,
Mm, ah, they kind of are, but
kind of.
and their atmosphere is great. It's so much fun, but I get I just anytime I see a team doing great, I'm just like fuck you. So
Oh, dude, trust me, I'm used to no success. Let's go O's.
Yeah,
But
Bryce
yeah,
Harper's
no,
my good.
dude,
Who's yours?
there's nobody that you can piss off more, and he turns around and just proves you wrong all the time. I was pissed when you drafted him in Dynasty like 10 years ago. I think I like left the room or something. No, that was John Peterson. But anywho, he ended up with
Should have
Trout
kept.
and Harper back when Trout and Harper were Trout and Harper, and they were the next generation. But anywho, Bryce Harper was my good, but I had a secondary good,
All right.
who's going to be Notre Dame, putting the lid on Caleb Williams.
Nice.
Thank you. After watching USC score 65 or whatever it was against Arizona State, one team that they should never be in a game against, they score 65, but I'll give up 62. This isn't football, and it's annoying the hell out of me because Lincoln Riley has now, 3 or 4 Heisman Trophy quarterbacks under his belt. The quarterbacks want to play for Lincoln Riley, but he's playing one-dimensional football, and USC is coming into the Big Ten. I need to humble that program a little bit. Notre Dame comes out, goes ahead and makes the Buckeyes look good for having the win against them on their resume, and I think takes Caleb Williams' second Heisman out of his closet. I think they went in the middle of the night and took his second Heisman because he threw, I think, 4 picks in that game, and he looked bad. He looked like he was trying to draft Michael Vick in Madden 2005 and just run around in circles around you. And that's not football. So I'm really pumped about Notre Dame winning, making the Buckeyes look good, making Caleb Williams not keeping Archie Griffin as the only 2-time Heisman winner potentially, and kind of silencing the popularity contest over there.
Nice.
That's my good.
Who's your
Go
bad? Who's your bad?
Irish.
Keep it
My
going.
bad was Orlando Arcia, so you kind of took 2 of
That's
them away
okay.
from
No,
me.
I didn't. I just mentioned what happened.
It's okay because my bad is the Patriots. Team is
Yeah.
hot garbage. They
Woo!
suck. And I always wanted to give them the benefit of the doubt. Like, they can coach, they can scheme, they can game plan, they can adjust. The team sucks. And they drafted a sucky quarterback because
Mac
Bill
Jones
Belichick is
blows.
in love with Nick Saban, and they just hang out together like 2 weird old men. And they're like, you can take Mac Jones. Oh, yeah, great idea. And it's not a great idea. He's not a good quarterback. Should have signed Bailey Zapp to a 10-year deal. But Hunter Henry, shit in the bed for me in fantasy too. The Patriots suck. Just give the ball to Zeke for the remaining games 40 times and then move into next year. Fuck the Patriots.
They're doing the we'll just tank and we'll reset. We'll have Caleb
Of course,
Williams,
great. Yeah.
whatever.
Like
I
Bill
love it. I
Belichick
love
could
it. I
coach
love it.
somebody
I
he
love it.
couldn't control.
Yeah, exactly. I love it.
Mhm.
I love it. My bad.
Who's your bad?
My bad. This pains me because I love him. Ronald Acuna Jr. One of my favorite baseball players, not a Yankee. Likely NL MVP this year.
Yeah.
But wow, went 2 for 14 in the NLDS. Had 2 steals, no home runs, no ribbies. You got to do
He
better. I
was
mean,
sitting at home playing video games while the wild card was
rough.
happening.
Yeah, it was rough. Him and Matt Olson were both MVP candidates. Really, neither of them did much. They were shut down by Phillies pitching. It's a thing. You're a superstar. You're one of the best players in the game. You're a young kid. You got to do better. You got to play better. And he was showing the iPad on a bad strike call to the broad. I don't know if you saw that, but like showed a
Mhm.
bad strike call to the broadcast cameras and was like, like giving looks. It was just a bad look for the Braves overall with the whole Arcia thing and didn't sit well. And they're frustrated. I mean, they were they were a historic offense this year, and then they just got shut down by the Phillies. So bad for Acuna, bad for the Braves. A lot of bad.
They've looked bad this postseason. Spencer Strider comments about we don't need fans too. Like,
That was rough.
yeah, the
That
Braves
goes right
kind of
into that.
fizzled.
Yeah, that goes right into the whole talks there. But wow, rough.
Yeah,
I'll finish us off with my shitty,
give me the shittiest shitty ever.
the Denver Broncos.
Oh yes, you
The
understands the assignment. Well done.
shittiest shitty ever. This can throw back to the old Simpsons episode where Homer's gifted a football team from this like rich guy, and he's like, "Oh, I got your team," and then and Homer comes out and says, "Oh, the Denver Broncos," and they're throwing passes and just running into each other. Hysterical. I mean, wow, they're really bad. I'm enjoying it as a Sean Payton hater, and I'm not, I'm not the biggest Nathaniel Hackett fan, and I'm not. I don't, again, I'll say this again. I don't disagree with what he said, but you don't say it. You don't come out and go after another coach in the league. And Peyton has had his
Brotherhood.
issues in the past with the Saints. We all know about that. He's
Hmm.
not a good dude, and Russell Wilson sucks. And wow, I mean, just he looks really bad. The Jets played like terror. They played like ass and beat them, and then the Broncos come out and just look awful against the Chiefs. And it was even kind of a close game, an 11-point game. It is what it is, but I mean, 8 points. They're bad. They're bad. They're shit. No, they're not bad. They're shitty. Very
Yeah,
shitty. And I'm
Denver
enjoying
Broncos run like your local Walmart.
it. Oh, baby. Oh, I love it. Chris, finish us off. Who's your shitty?
My shitty is Coach Prime in Colorado. Dude took the
Oh,
sunglasses off in the second half because he got worked by the smart kids.
he did.
Let's go. You lose to a one-loss Stanford team. The day you get Travis Hunter back, your two-way player, you go ahead and are up, I think 26-0 at the half, something like that. All right, and they outplayed you. They literally outplayed you. They outperformed you, and they crushed you. And he had no words for it in the post. Of course, he had words for it, but at the end of the day, down goes Colorado again. Happy about it. Hope they're humbled. I know they're not, but go Stanford. Well done.
We are about out of time. Another great week in the books. Always fun talking. Chris, you got anything real quick to wrap us up, or you want to send the folks home?
No, man, send him home. It's been great talking to you, man, and it was a fun week of football.
Very fun week. Very fun week of sports. Man, the championship series of baseball. Just fuck Houston. Go Rangers. No.
Let's go Rangers.
Thanks everybody for listening. See you next time.